werdet das schon sehen, es wird nach vorne gehen.
Now I'm here with Naomi Grossman, known from American Horror Story as Pepper Aggie.
Play with me!
And can you tell us about your experience in this role? Was it very challenging to play a disabled person?
Yeah, I mean, there was lots of challenges. Everything from the makeup, which obviously, I had to communicate through layers and layers of prosthetics. And obviously with very limited dialogue. And then sometimes lots of dialogue. There was this little character was sort of like this onion. You just kept peeling away, and there was new layers to her. There was and like you said, she's a disabled character, and so that was another thing. I come from comedy, and the last thing I wanted to do was appear like I was making fun. I really feared the reaction I might get, particularly from disabled groups who might think that I'd taken their role or something like that, which was obviously not the case. Later on in the season, we understand why they had to, cast someone like myself. The fact is, microcephalic actors just don't exist, and and like I said, given the needs, the confines for the role, they needed someone like me. But.
Here's a good one. Knock, knock, who's there? Arden, Arden you the quack who'd make a better duck.
We have seen Pepper in 2 seasons of American Horror Story now, so the stories were interwoven now. That was pretty interesting, I think. How did that come to pass? And are there any hints on upcoming seasons?
I don't know how that came to pass. They keep us quite in the dark. I don't know how things really work around there. They're usually kind of writing as they go. I do feel pretty confident that they saw what they had on their hands, and yet they'd already kind of killed me off by the time they realized just how popular a character she was. So that's when, there was really, they can't bring her back to life, but they could, of course, create a prequel, which I think was a genius move.
Yes, that, or perhaps you could be offered another role in American Horror Story as another person. But there's no information about the upcoming seasons yet.
I don't know anything. I don't even listen. I think the folks in Hotel don't even know how Hotel's gonna end. Truly, that's the way this thing works. Like on Freakshow, I remember, after Orphans, after my last episode on Freakshow, I was texting, all the freaks like, hey, what's happening? I wanted to know how it ended too. Even they didn't know until it was over.
Okay, big secret. It is.
Play with me.
Pepper, leave a lady alone.
Oh, it's fine.
She was only trying to make friends.
So, and your new film you're working on is Fear Inc.
Yeah, I wrapped that about a month or so ago.
Okay, could you tell us about what's the story about?
It's about a corporation that you can hire to scare you.
Okay.
So a couple hires them to instill fear, and it's fun. It's produced by some guys who do a lot of stuff for Funny or Die, which I don't know if you have Funny or Die here, but in the U.S. it's like a website that's sort of dedicated to mostly short content comedy videos.
Okay.
And so, it has sort of a comedic flair, but it is primarily a horror film. It's a really good script, so I'm hopeful for a good movie.
Okay, we'll be excited to see it.
Yeah.
And yes, you have been a comedian in the past, and so you still do comedy, or?
Yes and no. That's part of who I am, so I'll never be completely rid of it. really most of the videos that I'm sure you're probably referring to, they were mostly kind of a means to an end. Like I wasn't being cast in a traditional way, and so that's why I went ahead and cast myself and started writing and producing a lot of my own content. Anymore, I mean, I'm doing so much of this. You know, I'm on the road, and it's hard. There's no time, you know. But absolutely, I perceive myself to maybe not do short video, just because I think I'm past that now, on to bigger and better things. But you know, I could see myself doing another solo show, or you know, I'm a creative artist type. So yes, of course, I'll always be doing that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Naomi is creative in many ways, and we hope to see her soon again.
Yes,
Thanks
thank
a lot.
you. Thank you.